Miss Carol, I believe you are muted.
Terrible. That's terrible. And there we are. And there we are. Shall we try that again? Let's try that
Let's
again.
try that again.
Let's try that again, y'all. All right, everybody. Good day, family. Happy Indigenous Peoples Day to you, and welcome to Save Space on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. I, Carol Riddick, am your guest host for this week, and am really looking forward to spending some time with you. I'm looking forward to sharing some thoughts and opinions and learning some things and just, hanging out with you. Just hang out together. Anyway, joining me from the studio is none other than Miss Kayla J, who is making sure our experience is nothing but good. Hey, Kayla. Now,
Hey,
some
Miss
of you
Carol, how
have
you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Some of you are familiar with me as an artist, as an advocate, and from my podcast. But this week, it ain't about me. It ain't about me at all. We're going to talk to some folks who are doing some big things, y'all, real things, nice things. And I don't want you to be shy, okay? I want you to call in. I want you to talk to us, share your thoughts and opinions, and, let's share some time together. You can call in at 215-634-8065 or toll free at 1-866-361-0900. And if you leave us a comment on our socials, I can't promise, but I'll do my best to read it on the air, okay? And if you're interested in connecting with me on my social media platforms, you can reach me on IG specifically at Carol_Riddick and on Facebook at CarolRiddick.vocalist. And because it's a party, if you want to connect with Kayla J as well, you can find her everywhere at Kayla J_music nerd. Before we get started, thank you. Thank you. Thank you to those of you who are tuned in already, and to those of you who will tune in later, and to those of you who just simply wanted to do so. Without further ado, I want to introduce you to our first guest this evening. His name is David Cabello, and he is the founder and CEO of Black and Mobile. Now, for those of you who are unaware, I need you to know, Black and Mobile is known to be the country's first Black-owned food delivery service that exclusively partners with Black-owned restaurants. He's said to have started the company at the age of 22. Lord, 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 Lord. Family, joining the space is Mr. David Cabello.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
It is a pleasure to have you here with me. Let me tell you, I should first apologize for the runaround because those, those in the universe aren't aware. We were doing so much this week trying to connect, but I'm so glad you accommodated and you obliged. So thank you.
Sure, it was short notice, but it all worked out because again, one, my mom definitely advocated for you. Like, oh my, like I love her. Definitely going here. So I gotta be honest. I can't say that I've heard of you prior to this, but again, I know WURD. I support them and what they do, and my mom, she knew who you were and supports you. So I said it's just perfect.
No, that makes perfect sense because I was going to say to you that I was so excited that when I reached out, your mom reached out to me. She, immediately reached back to me. So I was so excited. I said, "Wow, that is so sweet. This is the family affair." That impressed me off the bat. Honestly, I don't know if I'd expect you to be familiar. My genre, the music, the genres in which I work. Well, I can't say that. I do R&B too. But in any event, again, this is not about me. I want to talk to you about you and what you're doing. And I have to say, I'm so, so, so proud for you.
Thank
I
you.
mean, there's not a lot that I know about your journey, which is why I wanted to invite you here to talk with us. But what I did read, I mean, I'm beyond blown away, beyond impressed. Reading that you were 22, and you were a college dropout when you created Black and Mobile. Really?
Yep. Me and my twin brother. We were going to Shippensburg University, and I was there for a year, and then we decided that well, really, my brother. I was always into the college thing because I was just happy that I got accepted. My brother, he was there just because I basically begged him to go with me, to be my brother. So we went to college, did the college thing. I wasn't too of the academic twin. I was more of the party twin at first. I was the academic one, reading books and showing me stuff. And yeah, we just decided to drop out, after a few semesters and decided we wanted to make a change for our community. It wasn't Black and Mobile. We didn't have the idea. We just knew we wanted to make change for our community.
Nice. So, okay, so how did you get from deciding that you wanted to make change for the community to Black and Mobile? Like,
Yeah.
tell me about that journey.
Yeah, so I mean, after dropping out, we headed to a bookstore, and the decision was we're dropping out, and we're gonna go help the Black community anywhere we can. We're gonna go work for a Black-owned business. We're gonna, of course, I was already in school for business, so I knew I was gonna own my own business, but we just wanted to do whatever we could to help. So we started working at a bookstore in Philadelphia, and I ended up actually teaching myself how to do e-commerce through Shopify. So I never heard of Shopify, never did it, never had no experience in it. But the bookstore actually was struggling and going out of business and didn't have an online presence. So I loved the bookstore so much. I said, you know what? I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure the bookstore doesn't go out of business. So I taught myself e-commerce and Shopify, and within 6 months, I developed the app, I developed the website, and I actually ended up helping them sell over $200,000 online. So that was just the bookstore part of it. Of course, me giving my time back and working there. Of course, I moved my way up in the company, but then in the beginning, it was hard. They were still a struggling business in the beginning, so I had to go find ways to make money. And actually, the guy that was the manager there at the time before I became the manager, he told me about a position about delivering food. And he said, you can make some extra money. I know it's rough right now. Here's a way to make extra money. Because I was traveling from Coatesville to Philadelphia every day on the train back and forth. So I'm like, it's not adding up the money. Like, I need to make more money. He told me about it, and I couldn't believe it. Me and my brother were literally looking for an extra gig. So we got a bike. We started on Postmates, and we both had our app on Postmates, and we literally would just have a bike. We ever had a bike in the back seat, and then we'd be in the front seat, just talking, riding around the city, waiting for orders. And we started realizing, we can make a lot of money doing this. So we upgraded from Postmates to Uber Eats. We were delivering for Uber Eats, and then we started working for Caviar. I started working for Caviar. And it takes literally 8 to 12 months to even get accepted by that job. So I was working for them. My brother was working for them too. We used the same account, we're twins. So we were going back and forth just making money, and it all hit me when I made $1,100 in 30 hours of work, literally part-time, working 3 or 4 hours a day. I made $1,100 in a week, and I said to myself, if I can make this much money delivering food, how much can I make if I actually own this company? And like I just told you previously, I had already did the app and the website for the bookstore. So I said, I already know how to do this for myself. From my past knowledge, I know delivery now. I've been delivering. I know the ins and outs of that. Imagine if I created my own company, and I was already in school for business. I can make my own company. Literally went to Google and YouTube that night, and I typed in, how do I start a food delivery service? And literally watched a couple of videos. It all came together. I just Googled, are there any Black-owned food delivery services? Nothing popped up. Now when you go to type that in, Black and Mobile pops up. So we said, literally, we're going to be the first ones to create this. We're going to do it, but not because we want to be famous, but because we really want to help. This doesn't just us as the founders. This helps Black-owned restaurants get more exposure. We're cheaper than the competitors. It helps us employ people from our community. It doesn't matter if they're white or Black. We're employing people from our community. Of course, we already know our people need jobs more. So, of course, we hire Black people most of the time, but it's just helping all around. And then it's even helping people find Black-owned restaurants, young or old. When I first started, I couldn't name 10 Black-owned restaurants. I couldn't name them. And a lot of younger or older people can't do the same thing to this day. So we said we're going to make a way for not only a way for people to find Black-owned restaurants, but for you to be able to support them. Not just saying, that, oh, that's cool, there's a Black-owned restaurant. We're going to make it easy by click of a button to go, and we'll bring it right to your door. So it just all made sense, and I knew from right then and there, not only was this $1 million business, but it could actually help so many people and change, so many lives. So that's why it was just inspiring to me.
Oh my goodness. You just said a mouthful, okay? I'm trying to, let me try and grasp half of what you just said.
I talk fast. I feel your energy, but let me slow down a little bit.
No. I'm loving it. I love it. But I'm talking about the information you just shared. Number one, okay, I don't know what I was doing at 22, but clearly I did not I did not start an empire because this is an empire. So I commend you and your brothers. And by the way, thank your mother for me, please. For thank your mother. Tell her I said thank you. But I want to know, like, oh, my goodness, I can't even imagine. Okay, now when I go to Google, I'm searching for information, as we normally do. It's an information highway. But for you to have taken the information that you acquired and to have begun, you and your brother to have begun, what I call an empire. When I first saw you guys, it was on Instagram. And I promise you, within, I don't know, it was a record amount of time, I saw that you were expanding.
Yep.
Okay, I have two questions. Now, the first question is, well, I'm going to ask you about the expansion later, but I want to know, like you were talking about helping Black-owned businesses. How do you determine which businesses to help, and how do you determine that? I'll ask you that first.
Well, I will say, it's not just all about us, just, I guess you could say, just trying to help Black-owned restaurants. Because again, we do provide a service. So again, you don't want to look at us as we're helping them. But for some restaurants, they're not known. Newer restaurants, they need exposure. We help them with exposure. We beat the rates of other services. When they're charging like just double of what we're charging. So, that's how we help even the larger restaurants where we're just not taking as much of their profits. So that's the easiest way for us to help Black restaurants. Of course, like I said, the exposure and stuff like that. But really, our main thing is just bringing awareness to them, whether that is delivery or not. We've had people go in there and say, like, I didn't order delivery, but I went in there for pickup. And restaurants tell me that, So if we can just put Black-owned restaurants on the map, that is good enough for me. And circulating the dollar, because we won't be successful as a people, and we won't have any power until we have economic power. All the things that are happening to us are going to keep happening to us until we have economic power, and then that's what money talks. That's it. Money talks. We can. Again, I'm not saying nothing about marketing. I'm not saying anything about anything else that anyone's doing to make change in our community, but money is the real power, and I want to just help any way I can to bring more money into Black-owned restaurants' pockets and Black people.
You just said a whole word right there. That's a whole word. I mean, that was a sermon, really. And, and the conversation is ongoing because it's truth. It is real, what you just said. No, you were talking, well, I was talking about you expanding.
Yep.
Talk to me about that. Tell me from soup to nuts, the beginning of the expansion to where you guys are now.
Yeah, it's and people see us on Instagram and it looks like the glitz and glamour, and it's hard. Entrepreneurship is so hard. Even just from going from 2019 when we first started, we launched in Black History Month, and we were pretty popular on Instagram. But guess what? We only sold $25,000 worth of food. I mean, I got hit by a car. We closed down for months. Like, it was so much happening, and we ended the year at 25,000. The year after that, 500,000, $500,000. And we could have sold more. So it's been a great thing to see the business grow and flourish, because we started just in Philadelphia, delivering on bikes. Me and my brother running the entire city, eventually just hiring people to help us. Then we went on to Detroit, and then we went on to Atlanta, then Baltimore, and then the next city for us is LA. So that actually will be coming within a week or two.
Oh wow!
We're launching in LA. We delayed the Houston launch. We're not going to launch until there's more restaurants that are going to sign up. Of course, it has to make sense business wise. But LA will be the next city, and then we'll probably finish the year in Houston. So it's really been going well. We honestly have the capabilities to get restaurants signed up anywhere in the nation, really internationally too. In Africa, we wanted to. So we got restaurants signed up in Seattle. We got some signed up in DC. So it's really all about just improving our platform, making sure that we keep improving the technology. And yeah, I mean, nothing can really hold us back. People want to support us. Our main thing is just putting as many Black-owned restaurants on our platform. Mm-hmm. Of course, that way the dollar can circulate, and then of course we can just create more job opportunities for people that in those cities.
Love it. Okay, before we go any further, what I want to do is recognize Diane Fassett, who says hello, and Shalata Sankofa, who also says hello. We have some people joining us from social media, reaching out and sharing some love and well wishes. So I wanted to make sure to let you know that we know you're there, we know you're listening, and we know you're with us. We're having a party. But I also, there's several things that come to mind when I thought of you and your brother starting this business. Like I said, when I first reached out and your mom reached back to me, I mean, that was so impressive. I mean, clearly she's done an exceptional job with you guys. But how many other of your family members are involved in the company?
It's just us three. It's just me and my twin and my mom. Yeah, it's just us three. Yeah.
What kind of cereal or breakfast or vitamins are y'all taking? What is happening over there? What?
Yeah, it's just us three. You know, we do majority of the work. You know, we have another few people that help us, but really it's like it's really just me, my brother, and my mom who do like majority of the work.
At the core, I understand.
Core.
So you were talking about now. Tell me again. Tell me again when the company began. When you started, and what year did it start?
2019.
2019. Lord have mercy. Okay, so tell me what has been your biggest challenge overall?
Biggest challenge. There has to be. I would say two of them. I mean, there could be three of them, but here's the thing. Here's what's challenging about food delivery. It's not just one of those businesses where it's just like, you know, you can, like, for example, a restaurant. You make the food, and you know people come and they eat the food. For Black and Mobile, we have different challenges in our business because we have three sides of it. For example, really four. First side of it is we have to find customers, we have to find users, the people that want to order on the app and download the app and support the restaurants. And then we have to find drivers to deliver everywhere that we go to at all times that we're open. That's a challenge. You know, of course, COVID, you know, clearly it was a challenge. We have restaurants. Sometimes we have to convince restaurants to sign up. You know, it isn't just because we're Black people want to do business with us. We have to make sure that, one, we're doing it the right way. We're professional. You know, we have to beat their rates. We have to meet up to the standards of all the other services and at a smaller level, you know. So that's very challenging there. And then also development and software. The biggest thing for a tech company is technology. If we don't keep our technology up to date and we don't have someone that can fix it and, you know, improve our app, it's like four sides of the business that we got to keep up with. And it's very challenging. So I would say the biggest accomplishment that I've made out of all those challenges is definitely finding drivers, you know, being able to find a driver sourcing. We use a third-party service. That has been...
If you give me one moment, I'm sorry to have interrupted you, but I found it necessary to let our listeners know. WURD Radio is sharing a harvest for the world from October 11th through December 31st. Visit wordradio.com each week to find information on upcoming Give Back events in Philadelphia. We will feature organizations hosting free food, clothing giveaways, workshops, and more. This right here, it's the season of giving back, and WURD will make sure you have a seat at the table. To find out more, visit wordradio.com. Give me one moment. We're going to take a short break.
Sure.
Thinking about retirement? Make sure a My Social Security account is a part of your plan. A My Social Security account gives you secure access to your personal earnings history and benefit status. You can find out if you're eligible to receive benefits, compare retirement benefit estimates at different ages or dates, view spousal benefit estimates, and more. Plan for your future. Open a My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Stand with Word Radio, the only Black-owned talk radio station in Pennsylvania. Did you know you can join the Forward movement and amplify voices of the Black community as a digital member for as low as $5 per month? Visit membership at wordradio.com or call 215-425-7875. We need you. Show your support. Start or renew your Forward membership today. The Word Radio newsletter, keeping you informed, engaged, and connected. Sign up by visiting wordradio.com. Scroll to the bottom of the page and type your email address under Connect with Us. You'll receive the latest information on Word Radio, messages from our president and CEO, Sarah Lomax Reese, exclusive articles and multimedia content, and resources. Stay informed with the Word Radio newsletter. Save Space on Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Independent Black Media.
If you ever change your mind about leaving
Welcome back. You're listening to Save Space on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We are talking right now with David Cabello, who is the CEO and co-founder of Black and Mobile. Just before the break, David, you were explaining some things to me, and I rudely interrupted you, so I'm so sorry. But I want to go back to something you mentioned. You were talking about this digital world in which we live. And I want to know, when working with the different businesses, since I know everything is geared toward a digital world now, not everybody is equipped.
That's true.
So how do you guys help? How do you guys work with businesses or help to get them to a place where they're functioning well digitally?
Yeah, so I mean that's a hard question because as a delivery service, I will be honest, it's not like it's our responsibility to go in there and say, here's what we're gonna provide you. We're gonna give you like, a whole new POS system or something like that. Like that's kind of not what we do. We kind of just provide the delivery. But what we do is we make it easier for people to find them on an app, because a lot of restaurants don't have an app or a website. So we have both of those things. We have a website where people can order on it now. They used to be able to, but everything redirects back to the app. So these restaurants get placed on the app. Now people can have their favorite restaurants right on their cell phone. So that is always an easier way. But we've also partnered with companies like Pepsi, in their Dig In program, and they have like a 8-week consultation to help restaurants over the next 5 years, Black-owned restaurants over the next 5 years with delivery. So that's a way to get connected, just like that. And then also what we've done. What will help Black-owned restaurants even just partnering with us is we've actually been approved by some of the top POS systems in the country, like Square and Toast and a couple other platforms, where that'll actually help them manage all the deliveries through one platform. So, just making sure that we integrate with platforms, making sure that we can connect them with people and exposure. That's about as best we can do, because of course, us going to create websites and apps for every single aspect. That's not ideal for us, considering that we have that already. But we do try to help people when they're on social media and Instagram, promoting them. We have a little over 100,000 followers, so that always helps. Just to get them exposure, regardless of the city that they're in.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm telling you, when I first saw you guys, I was watching, and your growth seemed to have happened overnight. I mean, that in its. Say that again.
That's what it seems like, but it definitely.
it really does seem that way. I'm telling you. Now, tell me, your twin brother.
Yep.
Tell me, when you were younger.
Oh man.
I want to know, like, how you went from. What's your brother's name?
His name is Aaron.
Aaron. So David and Aaron, we're 10 years old. How did we get from 10-year-old David and Aaron to the co-founders of Black and Mobile?
We definitely didn't think we'd be doing this. Kind of grew up. It was hard growing up for sure. Single mom. There's 3 of us. We didn't have a lot of money. We moved a lot, so it was definitely hard. I was in trouble a lot of the times as well. In school, so I didn't think that I would end up here. I can't say that. I changed from the younger self to around 16, 17. I had to make a change for myself, and that's when I kind of became interested in business, because I was actually a sports player. I thought I was going to the NFL. I was pretty good, but I got in so much trouble I couldn't play in high school. So I said, if I can't play football, I got to go do something else, and that's what led me to entrepreneurship. From me starting up my own. I really had a business shoveling snow and raking leaves and cutting grass, and I called it the weather worker. So I got my brothers involved with that. We did that every year. Made money throughout the every season. So we started there. And I'm like, I like this entrepreneur stuff. And my brother hasn't really been an entrepreneur. That wasn't really his thing. He's the reason why I'm conscious. He's the reason why I wasn't waking. He's the reason why I'm thinking the way I do now. Of course, I had to take myself to another level, but he got me to that point. So I do the same thing for him, where he doesn't know too much about entrepreneurship, but I teach him and make sure I show him. So, we kind of work just hand in hand. And we've been doing our whole life. We do everything together. He's probably listening right now because we live together. So everything together. We were roommates in college. We've been doing everything our whole life together. So it's just kind of like that.
I love that. You know, you guys have me stumped. Well, what I do want to say right now, we have some more of our listeners saying hello. Brian Hopkins is saying hello, and so is Lily. We know that you're there, and we love that you're there. I want to encourage, you know, others who are listening and watching to call in. You know, I'm sure there's some questions that I have not asked that you want to be answers to. So if you're interested in calling in, call us at 215-634-8065 or toll free at 1-866-361-0900. Once again, you're listening to WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. And we're having a good old time right here with Mr. David Cabello. I'm listening to you talk about your journey thus far. And you're talking about having done research on Google, having made calls, and we're doing, and it all seems like it happens so easily. As you tell me, you know, we did this, we did that, we did this. Tell me, what are your plans for the future? What do you see in the future? What do you see in the next 5 years?
Yeah, it's a good question because, you know, a lot of people ask that question. What are your next steps? And I can't say it right now. I'm living in the present. You know, of course I have a plan for the business, but right now I'm definitely living in the present. But so just to give, you know, some kind of insight on what we plan to do. Of course, you know, next year and the year after that, we definitely plan to be in at least every major U.S. city where a large population of Black people are and Black-owned restaurants. That's the first thing. You know, just becoming nationwide. Then after that, going international, going to places like Africa, Canada, Jamaica, Haiti. You know, like, going where Black people are, that's where we want to go, you know. So that's really our plan for like the next 3 to 4 years. You know, I do have other plans that just at least help create more Black-owned restaurants. I feel like I said, economically, that's the way for me. So if I can help create more Black-owned restaurants, you know, whether that is through, you know, kitchens or just, you know, investing or just anything like that, that's my plan, is just to help create more Black-owned businesses. But right now for food delivery, it's just really getting to every city. You know, we prove the concept, people know about us, but not enough people know about us. You know, it's such a large world out here, like, not enough people know about us. And, you know, we have so much potential to just grow and do even bigger things. So that's really the next goal for us, just to keep growing, keep improving what we're doing, and really be a nationwide company and a household name.
But I heard you mention that you used to get into some trouble. I can't imagine. I just can't imagine. So now, do you, as a business owner, I mean, you've become a mentor, but do you actually go and talk to younger adults about your journey thus far? Well, I mean, we're living in a COVID-compromised existence right now, but, you know, have you done that virtually, or do you plan to?
I have done it a couple times. You know, I did an event with Red Bull, you know, teaching some kids there, mentoring them there. My mom wanted me to go talk to a school, but of course COVID happened, you know, so I've talked to some people. I can't say that I'm more of a reserved and laid back type of person, but, you know, if anyone asks me questions, of course I'm open to mentor and teach, but I feel like I'm still trying to learn, and you know, I'm looking for people that are smarter than me, you know, like that's the thing too, right? You know, I'm only 26, you know, I don't know everything, you know, this kind of like, I got a little lucky in some parts of it where like things came together fast for me, but it also because I took action on a lot of them. So, you know, I would say, you know, to anyone listening that's young or entrepreneur, it's just really about taking action, you know, and it sounds so simple, but I could have, you know, been delivering and not even thought of starting my own company. Then let's say if I even did, you know what, I'm delivering, I thought of starting my own company. I took action on that. I didn't just wait. So, you know, that's a good idea. Let me tell the world about it and see what they think. I didn't care what anyone thought about it. I knew in my head, this is a brilliant idea. I went home and I researched it and I put it into action. You're going to have to teach yourself as well. You know, you can't just sit back and wait for other people to hand you things. You have to go get it. You know, I used what was out there, the resources. So that's what I would say. You know, I can't say I'm a big of a mentor to people right now because I still look for mentorship myself. But, you know, if there's advice I can give to help people, I'm definitely all for it because I'm no different than a lot of people. I just took action. That's really all. That's the only thing that makes me different is said I had an idea, I took action on it, and I didn't stop until it came to fruition. I knew it was going to happen. Everything that's happening now, I knew it was going to happen years before it happened.
Love that. Oh my goodness. Well, you're mentoring right now. You're inspiring and mentoring right now. Do know that. So let me ask you this. You and your brother, how do you separate your responsibilities within the company?
Well, I mean, I will be honest. It's something where I know more of business. I came up with the business, I put it together, so I do like a lot of the ins and outs of the business and like management stuff. But my brother helps me with like a lot of core rules, and like that's like adding menus and making sure we do routes when we go to new cities, and even going to the restaurants and talking to them and getting them signed up. So I will say he had a bigger role. Unfortunately, technology took that, because you have to make sure we're streamlined, but that also gives him more time to do other things. So, right now I do like the business calls and, partnerships and, managing developers. So, right now, it's really about, like I said, once we grow more, there's more roles in the business, but technology kind of takes that. Technology is just right now, more superior at certain things, and we'd rather have it streamlined versus us spending 12 hours a day of like calling orders in. Like that's what he used to do. He would spend 12 or 13 hours a day calling orders in nonstop all day, calling every restaurant, every city to place an order. Now we don't have to do that. Now we have an app that a customer places an order, it goes to their app, they accept it, and we don't have to do anything. So technology just takes away with that. But like I said, as we grow, there's more roles that that need to be fulfilled, and that's either we fulfill them or we find someone else to do it.
Understood. I do want to share with you that Ms. Fassett said that she loved your answer to the last question. She said it spoke to her, enjoy the present. She says she sees that you have certain goals laid out. She said you will definitely succeed. You are pro-action. I thought it necessary to share that with you. It's always nice, when we get those little gems when somebody is sharing some love. So how do you guys determine the individual cities for your expansion?
Before, it was kind of just us just being excited and doing stuff. But now like we really have to look at it from a business level. All right, well, how many Black-owned restaurants are in this city? How many Black people are in this city? Does this city, have a lot of millennials? A lot of millennials order food delivery. So, we look at certain things now as far as demographics and stuff like that to see which city we go to. Of course, we have a list of restaurants that we DM, we email, and then we go there in person. So it's really about getting the feedback from the restaurants as well, because we can't do it without Black people. That's the thing. That's the thing about our company, and I've said this is we won't succeed without Black people, and if we fail, it's unfortunately, we're so deeply rooted into our community, it'll be because of Black people. Like that's just what it is right now. And of course that's not making excuses, but we're so invested in our community that we put all of our eggs into helping Black restaurants in the Black community. So of course, if restaurants sign up, that's a good thing for us, and if they don't, that's not a city that we can go to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense, and that was why I asked, because looking and searching, trying to determine where to go next. I thought about that, like how do you decide? Okay, this is where we'll go. And, well, let me ask you: this is a joint decision amongst the three of you, your brother and your mother, or you?
My mom, she likes certain cities that she just likes personally. My brother, I feel like we all like different cities that we would go to. Of course, I would say I make the final decision of which city we go to, but really, none of us will make a decision if let's say we all wanted to go to New York, and then people in Oklahoma City, we got 100 restaurants signed up. We're going to OKC. Even it just really depends on the demand. That everything, the demand. Of course, I can say, oh, we're going here, we're going there, but the demand speaks volumes, and wherever the demand is, that's where we're going to go.
That makes sense, and that's why I asked. Oh my goodness! So you were saying. I so appreciate the fact that you were sharing, with those who are up and coming and those, who may have an interest in doing what you do, from now, I know you were talking about having been in some sort of, you were, I don't want to say trouble, but you were doing some things, Yeah. What would your advice be to our young adults that may be living in today's society doing some things they shouldn't be doing? What would you say to them? What
Yeah.
would you say to them?
I would say you have to really get to the root of what is bothering you. If you don't get to the root of the trauma and what's bothering you, you're gonna be a broken adult. You're gonna be a broken child, broken adult. Nothing's gonna change. You have to know that this is for you. No one at the end of the day, no one's really gonna care. If you waste your life and you keep getting into bad things, it's really only gonna affect you. At the end of the day, you have to grow up. You have to have your own family. All the decisions that you're making now will affect your future. So you have to you have to accept whatever's going on, your current reality. You have to know it's not forever, and you really have to if you're a man, you have to man up. If you're a woman, you have to be a stronger woman. We don't get breaks. As Black people, we really don't get too many breaks. I was talking with a friend, and her daughter was, feeling upset and feeling depressed and stuff like that. And talking about what's going on in school and how like some of the other kids, get breaks and she doesn't, but she's grieving. It's like, you have to push through all that stuff. There's so many barriers against us, and you have to just really, like I said, first heal from the trauma and find something that makes you happy. Find something, and it's cliche, find something that you would do for free. Of course, like it's from the heart, but of course, try to do it for profit if you're an entrepreneur. But yeah, that's really what I would say is you have to heal first. I feel like everything else will fall in line. Once you heal yourself, and another thing is finding out what your parents went through. I found out, what my parents went through, what her parents went through, and it just makes things a lot easier. Like, like not hating your parents and not being angry with them, because a lot of people spend so much time going back and forth with their parents or siblings. It's just like, find out just the root of why people are the way they are, and then of course the root of why you are the way you are, and then just try to change yourself. That's the best advice I can give to people, because it's really all about healing yourself first, and everything else will just fall in line.
Oh my goodness. Oh. Well, it's time for another break. You are listening to Save Space on WURD Progressive Black Talk Media. We'll be right back.
Build skills needed for employment through the Philadelphia Skills Forward Initiative, a free upskilling program for workers displaced by the pandemic, those whose jobs are at risk for automation, and Black and brown workers. Complete courses focused on digital literacy, career management, and professional skills for a successful career. Get started today at chamberphl.com.
What grows in the forest? Trees? Sure. Know what else grows in the forest? Our imagination, our sense of wonder, and our family bonds grow too. Because when we disconnect from this and connect with this, we reconnect with each other and build family memories we will carry with us forever. The forest is closer than you think. Find a forest near you and start exploring at discovertheforest.org. It's easy. Just put in your zip code to find family-friendly outdoor destinations near you. You'll also find guides to free activities, games, and amazing forest facts. Give the magic of the outdoors to your kids and reconnect with your family. Find a forest near you at discovertheforest.org. That's discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
What is dedication?
My daughter started making necklaces. She makes what we call affirmation fashion. I tell her every day that your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. And if there's anything better than being beautiful, it's being smart. And if there's anything better than being smart, it's being kind. And reaffirming that every day is our method of making sure her chin never drops. My dad wasn't around. And I remember riding a bike and falling off and cutting myself, and me never just wanting to get back on it. People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike, and you didn't. I didn't teach them. I just created an environment where they taught themselves, and all I had to do was be there.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Want the latest in word swag? Check out the shop tab on wordradio.com. Hoodies, tees, and more in a variety of colors. The shop tab on wordradio.com. Show the world that you're all about black. Talk Media. Save Space on Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Independent Black Media.
Born in a bit of cold and I disagree with God. Skin tough as Brown's kitchen. Child, here is your back condition. Her eyes, they glow with brilliant light. Oh, Mama said it's gonna be alright. She said, baby, you came just in time. The world needs your light. Let your shine. You're a gift from above. You're a gift from above, child. You send love. Ooh, show them all love, baby. Shower your love, baby. All we really need is love. They say you can't have nice things, then your souls will be war. Your terror they pay. You're closing yourself up a door, but baby, you gotta.
All right, we're back. You're listening to Save Space on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, 96.1 FM and 900 AM. Thank you so much to those of you who are hanging out with us. We are so enjoying your presence, your company, your time, your energy, and your spirit. We are talking with Mr. David Cabello of Black and Mobile. And David, I want to share some more comments with you, if that's all right.
Okay.
Joey Dixon says, hey, peace, one love, and jazz to you. Mr. Howard Harris says, you know, that was a great assertion that you stated just before we went to the commercial break. So everybody is feeling the information and the love that you're sharing. And I have to say that I'm even more impressed with your family as a whole. You know, I was impressed with you guys when, like I said, I first saw a post on social media. It just caught me, it grabbed me. And I said, okay, I need to know what's going on, who they are, and blah, blah, blah. And I've been following you all ever since. So I'm so, so, so glad. I should thank you again. And please make sure to thank your mother.
Excellent. She said thank you as well.
So listen, I just want to give you some space here on Save Space to share with us. Tell me some stories. Tell me some things. Tell us about life in general for you.
Yeah. So, I mean, just when you say life in general, can you just share a story about my life, about, you know, what I do currently outside of Black and Mobile?
Yes. I want to know everything. So I want to share with everybody what you will allow. So yes, tell us about what you do outside of Black and Mobile.
I really don't have too much free time because I feel like, you know, my life is Black and Mobile, but, you know, I feel like if it wasn't Black and Mobile, I feel like just my personal goals, you know, would be just, I guess really just helping like other Black families, like, you know, about all the trauma that we don't speak about, you know, and stuff like that. Like, that's really my main thing where I just want to help other people in that way, you know. I've always, like I said, I'm an active person. I love sports and all that stuff, but, you know, my real passion right now is just really trying to help. So Black and Mobile, of course, is a business side of it, but I want to help. Like, I'm a servant to, you know, God's mission for me anyway. So I feel like I'm going to be able to do that through Black and Mobile, but that's just like a personal thing. And then through business, you know, the goal, what I'm doing right now is Black and Mobile, of course. You know, that's just, everyone knows I'm doing Black and Mobile. But the long-term thing for me is really trying to get as many people to unite as possible. So that, of course, that's going to lead to me, like I said, helping open up new restaurants, starting up my own airline, having my own boats and all that stuff, making sure that we all can connect, and whether that is with people in the diaspora in Africa and Haiti and Jamaica, making sure Black people can be as one. Really, that's the main thing for me. You know, I see so many things that's going on in our community, you know, and we're not talking about what anyone else is doing, but what we're doing to ourselves, and that could be from the food. You know, I love vegan food, you know, so just even inspiring people to eat healthy, you know, just making sure that we heal as one. That's kind of just my life right now. That's what I live for. I don't really have too much fun. I can't say I've never been to a club or a party. Like it's the rest of my life. Like, you know, right now I'm focused and I'll be able to have all that fun, you know, down, you know, in the future.
I can't say you're missing anything in the club. I can't tell you that you are, but no, well, no, thank you for sharing that though, because, you know, just listening to you talk about how you got to today, you and your brother having this conversation saying, okay, well, this is what we're going to do. And then taking action to do it. I mean, that is monumental, because you were talking about, well, it brings to mind for me mental health. You know, you were talking about being honest with yourself, finding out what is going on with you, healing. And that's a journey that, I mean, even some adults are struggling with.
Yeah, I mean, like, and I'm not going to sit here and lie to anyone. Like, I've faced depression before I was an entrepreneur and during entrepreneurship. You know, it's not hard. Like, I mean, it's not easy. I've been through so much. Like, even from, you know, from business and struggling, like the ups and downs of business. You know, just being stressed out and depressed. Like, it's hard. You know, so the main thing is just trying to not get too high or get too low. That's the one thing I've been able to learn. You know, because I'm, you know, I seem so calm right now, but I'm so full of energy. I'm so hyper and I'm so like ready to go. And like, I'm learning to just calm down more and, you know, just really analyze things. So that's the thing, you know, you can't just, people, you know, when you're so excited, you know, you have to just make sure you do it with intent and, you know, you have a clear mind when you're doing it, you know, because that's the biggest thing, because you're going to go through ups and downs in business and life. Just know that everyone is going through something. And you wouldn't even know, you know, someone could look so calm and peaceful and happy, but everyone's going through something. There's not a single person out here that's not going through something, you know, that's really bothering them and that can just change their life forever. So just, you know, they're not saying to focus on other people's problem and like it's worse, but just know that you're not the only one going through stuff, you know. Everyone's going through things and you really just have to, like I said, pull yourself together and create a better life for yourself and your family.
You know, I say that all the time. I say that all the time. I tell everybody, you know, we're all in this together. Everybody is dealing with something. Yep. You know, it's and right now, especially and particularly since we're still, you know, in a pandemic, we're still living in what I call this COVID compromised existence. You know, we've all got layers. We've got layers and layers. One question I do have for you as we prepare for our next break, I want to know from you what regrets, if any, you have. Was that a loaded question?
I would say, you know, the only reason I regret certain things is because I didn't know. You know, working with certain people, you know, being loyal to certain people, you know, like, you know, in my business life. And then I will say, I guess as a youth, I definitely regret just being so angry all the time and you know, getting in so much trouble because, you know, like I was kicked out of the whole school district. You know, I couldn't even go to school and like my mom was moving and making it hard for her. So like I regret stuff like that because it killed my first dream of sports, you know? So like that is definitely a regret for me. And then I guess as an adult, it just working with certain people, you know, like, you know, giving energy to certain people and, you know, I've just learned to just really focus on myself. You know, I don't have, you know, too many people I can call my friend, you know, and it's sometimes it's good that way, you know, don't trust too many people, you know, but also just don't be so closed off and just, you know, I feel like those are just some of the biggest regrets I've had, but definitely current today, it's just working with certain people and trusting certain people is the worst, you know, for people that look like you, sometimes it's hard.
Oh my goodness, I had to put my head down on that one because I can certainly identify and agree, you know, as much as we want. I'll tell you something that a friend of mine said to me one time, and it stung when he said it, but he said, you know, you can't want more for somebody than they want for themselves. Because he said, oh, well, it was a lesson. It was a hard lesson for me because I was in the midst of, you know, trying to help someone. And I was trying to help this person more than this person was trying to help
I
themselves.
say, don't, of course, you don't gotta be selfish and just self-centered, but I'm all for helping yourself first before you help anyone right now. Of course, like someone always telling me is how you gonna help anyone if you can't help yourself. So that's the first thing, really just helping yourself first and then trying to go help. And this is on a personal level, of course, like not on a business level, on a personal level, you have to get yourself out of a situation first. If you're like, if you're in debt and you're giving money to someone else all the time, that doesn't make sense. You have to just really help yourself so you're straight. And then, lead by example too. That also helps people. But I definitely agree to that. I definitely do.
There's a lot of truth to that. My grandmother would say the first law of nature is self-preservation. So she would always say, listen, you can't, same thing you just said.
Well, I have a question for you, because I know you've been asking me a bunch of questions, but
okay.
Can you name some black restaurants that I guess you like? What are your favorite ones?
Well, I don't know that I can name 10, but
again,
I do know, everybody knows I love the Bynums in every single establishment that they have. So they have about 3 that I could name,
all of them
off of the top. But then there's King's Cafe.
King's Cafe. That's up in Staten Avenue.
Yes, it is. I love their salmon cheese steak. What? Let me tell you, there are too many things on the Bynum's menu, so we're not gonna go through that. But that salmon cheese steak at King's Cafe, that gave me a whole new life too. Let's see.
What about vegan? You like anything vegan? Have you ever tried vegan food?
I have. No. I've been trying to master a vegan chili, but I just haven't gotten it right yet. I haven't gotten the right recipe.
There's a few vegan spots, that of course I love, but I definitely say you definitely got to check the app out because there's a lot of restaurants we can find out about. I know a lot of them. We have like a list of over 200 restaurants in Philly, alone. So we have a pretty good list in Philly, but we have like at least 2,000 or 3,000 directory like across the country right now.
See, I'm slipping because I'm not up. I did see that you guys posted about an event. But while I'm thinking about the last post that I did see that you posted and some other restaurants that I can think of, we're going to take a short break for a moment. You're listening to Safe Space on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We'll be right back.
Word family, this is Andrea Lawful Sanders. As many of you may know, the Go to Know campaign is coming to an end. This is the last month to secure your free at-home screening test to check for colon cancer. If you are 45 or older, go to WURDradio.com and click on the Go to Know banner to register for your free at-home screening test or call the Colorectal Cancer Alliance at 877-422-2030 to get your free fit test. I just recently had my own test done and got a clean bill of health. But here's something I need you to know. Getting screened on time can save your life. A key fact to remember. On-time screening can help find colon cancer early when it is most treatable or before it turns into cancer. Go right now to WURDradio.com, click on the Go to Know banner for your free at-home screening test or call the Colorectal Cancer Alliance at 877-422-2030. Do it today. Do it for yourselves. Do it for your family.
The Go to Know campaign is a partnership with Word Radio, the Colorectal Cancer Alliance, Independence Blue Cross Foundation, Penn Medicine, and LabCorp.
The future depends on teachers. Every day, teachers are shaping our tomorrows, starting their students on journeys that will change the course of history. Right now, in a classroom somewhere in the United States, there's a teacher inspiring a future scientist who will make preventing pandemics their life's work, sharpening the mind of an aspiring environmentalist who will help combat climate change, and generating possibilities for a student who will be the first in their family to graduate college. It all starts with teachers who meet challenges with creativity, who reinvent education for the future, who work towards a school system that lifts up every child, regardless of race, income, or zip code, and to enable the full potential of our students, our communities, and our country. Explore a career that leaves a legacy you can be proud of. Shape the future. Teach. Learn more and receive free support at teach.org.
Are you looking for a job? WURD has got you covered. We just launched a brand new job portal featuring jobs from some of Philadelphia's leading companies and arts organizations. If you go to the portal right now, you will see jobs from Word Radio, the Kimmel Center, Her Foods, Always Best Care, and more. Apply for a job today. Go to our livelihood website at wordworks.com. That's WURDworks.com and click jobs.
This is Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD Philadelphia. Streaming live on wordradio.com, the Word Radio app, or watch live on Word TV via Facebook and YouTube. Word Radio, independent black media.
Coming to you live, straight from the 215. It's my family and yours.
I won't compare what we got to what's going on over there. Oh, 'cause we make our own rules. It's our kingdom to rule. We got nothing to prove for what God bears witness to. And we let our light shine wherever we go. Give love and respect to everybody we know. Always prepared to do the best we can. Try to help a fellow man. 'Cause if you get it, you got it, then go so cool. 'Cause if you get it, you got it, then go so cool. Yeah. So cool. Yeah. So cool. Yeah. Get it, you got it, then go so cool.
That's family right there. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back. You're listening to Save Space on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, 96.1 FM and 900 AM. We have just spent the last hour with Mr. David Cabello, co-founder of Black and Mobile. David, I cannot thank you enough for obliging me and sharing your time, your energy, and some space with us. We appreciate you. We so appreciate you. And everybody that was in the room tonight just fell in love with you. And they're proud of you and for you and your family. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to continue this hour with none other than You're so excited when I say her name. Patty. Miss Patty Jackson. She is the icon, the legend, the radio. What do you call her? The radio icon and legend. I've invited her tonight to share some time and energy with us in the room. Welcome to the space. Welcome to Save Space, Miss Patty Jackson.
Hey, honey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you, beautiful?
You didn't say this was Zoom.
Oh, I did not.
I got my mask on.
You ain't listening. Listen. That's when we talked. You said, "Listen, I'm gonna be shutting down." I said, "That's all right. We can talk to you. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay." But you already know. I know because I will have my mask on as soon as we are done. But I was so happy when you said you would come and talk with us. We just spent the last hour talking with Mr. Cabello, who's a co-founder of Black and Mobile. And we were talking with him about the efforts of him and his family, an extraordinary company that they've started. I don't know if you're familiar, but this.
Yes, I am. Yes.
Yes. Aren't they amazing? Amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, when he was sharing his information, I kept saying, "Heavens to Murgatroyd! What cereal? What was his mother feeding him and his brother? Because they're so like amazing.
And focused.
Yes.
And focused.
Yes, to say the least. But I want to dedicate this hour to you. You. You know I have to slow walk it when I say it. You know I have to slow walk it when I say it. I, Patty, I am so happy for you. I am so proud for you. I am so, too many words, just too many words, but I want to talk with you about life, my fellow Scorpion sister, my fellow South Philly John.
Yeah.
Now, I know that you celebrated, but the first thing I'm going to talk about is just your history in radio, because I have questions. I have a ton of questions, but
Okay.
that's just the ones that I can fit in this amount of time. But I want to talk about your history in radio thus far. I know that you recently celebrated an anniversary. Now,
Yup. And next year, it'll be 40 years. Next year, it'll be 40 years in radio.
okay. Ooh,
I know I'm only 45.
I was about to say, I mean, you're just a baby. You're just a baby.
Yeah, next year, 40 years.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because I know radio has changed and changed and changed and changed since day one.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say, as Patty Jackson yourself today, if you could talk to Patty Jackson 40 years ago when she started, what would you say to her?
To be patient. I was much like a bull in a china closet. I would tell her to be patient. I would tell her to accept every no that came her way and continue to strive to be better. When I entered this game, I was 18 years old, right out of high school. I did not think it would lead me this far. I just knew I wanted to get on the radio and play some records.
Wow. That was one of the questions I had for you. I was curious to know if you, if you saw it. Like some people say, no, I knew that, if you saw it, but the extent of it was just your love for music and wanting to share some good music, just wanting to play some records.
Yeah, I was always in front of a microphone ever since I was a little girl, and where I thought I would be the next Donna Summer, Salt and Pepper, God said, no, you're going to talk for a living. So I kind of knew, I just had this feeling of this destiny that God had placed in front of me.
You said Salt and Pepper. Listen, I want to see that. I want to see that myself. We can do it. We can do it. We can.
I gotta find the picture because I shaved off the whole side of my head.
No, you didn't.
And my father said, in all of his honesty, he said, some people can do that. You're not one of them. Because I got a big forehead. I do. But I just knew that's what I wanted. Those earrings and that hairstyle, and I just knew that was going to be me.
I cannot see you with with one side of your head shaved off. I can't see it. I cannot see it.
I want to take you back to that time. Remember singer Stacey Lattisaw?
Yes, I do.
She had the same hairstyle and I adored her. Yeah, remember you shave on the side and the other part came down long.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Yes.
I didn't have the heart to do it because, I didn't have the heart to do it. It wasn't until later in more in my adult life where I had the heart to do it, and I just shaved off both of the sides. But then I didn't. I kept saying, well, because, I got a little moon face. I got the big forehead, and I got the big jaws, and I kept saying, nobody wants this. Nobody wants to see all of it. Not all of it. Not like that. That is funny. So you went from your love of music, wanting to play records, to... Okay, now this question I do have for you because one time you and I talked and I asked you when you slept. I recall asking you that, and I think I've asked you that on more than one occasion. But okay, so you host a show, you give us the 411, you're a foodie, you mentor, you host events, you write columns. I know I'm missing about 10 other things in there, but
I'm a great nap taker. I take naps.
really,
Yeah, I'm a great nap taker. I have a recliner chair in my house. If I sit in it, it's over. It's done. I'm falling asleep. I took a nap before this.
I don't blame you.
I did. I took a nap. Yeah, I took a nap.
Patty, I have to say I had to take a nap too today. I did. I had a gig last night, so I had to take a nap today.
Yeah.
But how do you? Okay, so this is something that I struggle with. My brain does not know how to shut down. With you having so much going on, how do you navigate that? How do you manage? How do you shut down to take those naps? Because I don't get good sleep. I don't get a good nap, but I don't get good sleep because I don't know how to shut down. How do you manage that?
My mind has a hard time too. Sometimes I have to be totally exhausted. Or like when I take a nap, I just conk out. Because if I think too much or if too much is going on, I really won't be able to sleep because I'll just be thinking. So I'm trying to learn how to relax.
Yeah, I'm struggling with that. That is something with which I have struggled for a very long time, but it seems the older I get, the more I'm thinking. I don't know how that.
Yeah. Well, you know what's important? To make your bedroom as comfortable as possible. I really love fresh sheets, the comforter. I just make it this oasis to like get into. Like I look forward to my bedtime. I may not stay asleep, but I look forward to nice bedding. You know, like the mattress is really nice and my pillows to put me in that comfort.
You know, Patty, it's something that you would say that because I just started getting into oils. I like to burn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love sweet scents. I love like fresh, sweet scents. So I burn my candles and I burn oils, and I'm a huge plant person. I love plants and flowers.
Mm-hmm.
So I am learning. I'm learning to draw from that energy.
Mm-hmm.
I feel what you're saying with that, and you're right about making your bedroom your sanctuary because I am doing that more as well.
Mm-hmm.
I really, I used to cater to. I catered more to. I've got to do this. I've got to do that, and I've got to do. So everything was just me trying to get to the next, trying to get through and to the next.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say in the more recent past few years, I'm learning to I'm only shut down just a little bit more. I can't, but I'm happy for that. I'm happy for that because that does mean that the energy to which I'm catering is working for me. So I appreciate that. I do. I do. Tell me. Okay, I just want to tell everybody. I want to share with everybody this. The other day, when I was at the ceremony celebrating you, I wanted to talk about this last, but I can't hold it. So I've been so full. I don't think I've texted you this much since I've known you. I have sent her numerous messages. I'm so proud for you. I'm so proud for you. And I even stated at the celebration that you deserved a boulevard. So please tell me how you feel because I'm bursting. How do you feel? How does that feel to have a street named after you?
I'm still in awe. It was like there was a show back in the day called This Is Your Life. And I felt like I was standing there watching, This Is Your Life. It felt good. It just made me see that I have touched people. Mm-hmm. The message has gotten through. I have blessed people. And they just came to show me that love. Mm-hmm. Like it wasn't all in vain. Because I'm always willing to lend an ear, lend a hand. And it was just like a full circle moment. And then I liken my life to a football game where, the first quarter, starting in radio, second quarter, continuing with radio, but I also became a mom and then taking care of my mom. And then at halftime, I broke because I wasn't taking care of myself. Okay, Carol, getting back on our feet. We're starting the third quarter and a whole new world opened up to me as far as podcasting and doing videos, things that I never did before, things that I wasn't even dreaming about doing. Wasn't even thinking about it.
I was saying when I spoke about you the other day that I have watched you navigate up, down, and in between. I've watched you, along your journey. I can't believe your son is
20.
I can't believe that. I just cannot believe that. I've watched you, raise him. I've listened to you do so, and we have lived so much life, so much life, and just even listening to you give your speech the other day, I was brought to tears. I was so touched. I was touched by seeing all the love and feeling all the love there is for you. But I was touched by the words that you shared as well, because my experience with you has always been, you're such a giving soul. You're such a giving spirit. I mean, always. I tell anybody within earshot, when I call Patty will say, listen, if in the moment you cannot address me, then you'll say, listen, let me get back to you. But you always do so. Always, 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 always. And there's something to be said about that. You're such a beacon. You're definitely a giving spirit, and it is to be celebrated. I'm so grateful that you are receiving your flowers. I'm so grateful that all of these doors are opening. I'm so grateful that you are doing the podcast, that you are sharing your voice. Listen, I even love Petty Patty, okay? I love her too. I even love her. Now, before I want to talk about the podcast, but I want to know, from where did Petty Patty come?
Because we Scorpios, you know how we are.
I sure do.
You know how we Scorpios are. We can be nice, but that stinger is something else.
Woo! You don't know how many times I hear that. How many times people say to me, girl, I want your stinger to come out. Just be easy. I don't want your stinger to come out.
Yeah. Because when that stinger comes out, it's like, watch out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, when it is. And when it comes out, you deserved it, because it's a slow burn.
It is.
It's a slow burn. So if it comes out, it was meant to come out.
It was meant to come out. Yes, it was meant to come out. I love to share, like I said, I like to bless others, but sometimes I like to give you nuggets to think on. I remember one time praying, I said, boy, I would love to have the wisdom of a Maya Angelou. Now, it never dawned on me that you got to go through a whole lot of stuff to have that much wisdom. It did not dawn on me. But I think through life experiences, things that you've been through, some things are common sense, but just a little thing to make you think. Just a little thing to remind you to be kind. Take time to laugh. Take time to be kind, because you don't know what somebody else is going through.
You really don't. I say that all the time. I say we're all in this together. And in my prior conversation with David, we both just agreed, you never know what someone else is fighting through or with what they're dealing. We should all be easy with one another. That leads me to the experience that I keep sharing with everyone that you and I had. And he asked me in a recent conversation, you said, do you remember that conversation we had, Patty? I remember we were seated at the table. And I tell everybody, I must have looked like a zombie. I must have, because you looked at me like you looked in my eyes, you looked at me and like you saw me and you told me to take care of myself. It was during the time that I was taking care of my mother. And you said, listen, I need you to listen to me. I need you to hear what I'm about to say. And you said, I need you to drink water. I need you to get your rest. And I need you to take care of yourself. Now, for those that are listening, that might not sound like a lot. But during that time, I'm sure what you saw was what I was dealing with, what I was wearing, because I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't sleeping at all.
Yeah.
I was not many know I was caring for my mother during the time. And I am my mother's only. So it was just me. And you know how that, Patty, I know since we had that in common, you know, you don't want to blink because you want to be there every moment. You want to be there every second and you don't want to miss any of it, you know, but it is so easy to lose that most important thing, caring for yourself, because if you don't care for you, you can't care for them. And I had friends that are so close to me that were trying to get me to just take a moment for myself. And I did not, you know, I would, but I didn't really understand the depth of it until you said to me that night when you were talking to me about your own experience.
Yeah.
That changed everything.
Because I just wanted you to see it. I'm like, you know what happened to me. I don't want the same thing to happen to you. I broke 2 weeks after she died. I broke. And it took a couple of days, but I lost my vision. Every time I was telling the doctors, I got to get out of here because I got to go to work, he took something else from me. When he took my vision, I just had to sit down and surrender. I mean, I literally got up and had to sit back down. And I couldn't walk. My whole right side had left me, had just gone. I couldn't pick up a paper. I couldn't write. I couldn't do anything. And as I cried, and I cried so much, I kept saying, why? What has happened to me? What is going on? I sounded clear as a bell, Carol. Clear as a bell. And I was like, I could still talk. So I started making noises so I could just hear my voice. And it was like God was saying, I got you, but I need to sit you down. I need to sit you down. I got you. Your gift is your voice. You're going to come out of this stronger. And I said I would spend the rest of my life telling people, men and women, the importance, especially when taking care of other people, that you got to take care of yourself because you will break. And I said, I know this because it happened to me.
Yeah. I was right there. I was right there.
And I was supposed to be there because I had just left a concert, right? Something brought me back there. When I came back there, I never saw the guest of honor. I was there to see you, and then I left. I never saw her.
Let me tell you, I know how God moves. I receive that. I know that. And let me tell you something. When we come back, because it's time for a break, when we come back, I'm going to continue this and tell you exactly why and how I knew that was what was supposed to happen that night. Family, you are listening to Safe Space on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We will be right back.
The Philadelphia Department of Prisons is accepting applications for correctional officer from September 15th to October 15th. Starting salary is $43,199. To be a correctional officer, you must be 20 years of age or older, have a valid PA driver's license, be a resident of the city of Philadelphia, or relocate to Philadelphia within 6 months of hire. Benefits include full health coverage, including dental and vision. Do you want to make a difference in the field of corrections? Here's your chance. Apply today. Apply at www.phila.gov/personnel. The Philadelphia Department of Prisons is an equal opportunity employer.
Morning, Mama. How you feeling?
Great, and I'm ready for you today.
I'm checking in on ya. Morning meditation?
Check.
Dressed and ready to work out?
Check.
Check your blood pressure yet?
And check.
Boom! Great job, Mom. And about those gold earrings?
No, ma'am.
Now more than ever, it's important that we protect our hearts and the hearts of those we love. Monitor your blood pressure daily and help each other stay motivated. Rally your squad to take the online pledge at releasethepressure.org. Brought to you by the Release the Pressure Coalition and the Ad Council.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey. Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Stand with Word Radio, the only black-owned talk radio station in Pennsylvania. Did you know you can join the Forward movement and amplify voices of the black community as a digital member for as low as $5 per month? Visit membership at wordradio.com or call 215-425-7875. We need you. Show your support. Start or renew your Forward membership today. Save Space on Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Independent Black Media.
Family, welcome back. You're listening to Save Space on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, 96.1 FM and 900 AM. WURD Radio is sharing a harvest for the world. From October 11th through December 31st, visit wordradio.com each week to find information on upcoming Give Back events in Philadelphia. We will feature organizations hosting free food, clothing giveaways, workshops, and more. This is the season of giving back, and WURD will make sure you have a seat at the table. To find out more, visit wordradio.com. Family, I cannot thank you enough for joining us tonight. For those of you who are joining us now, and for those of you who wanted to do so, we're appreciating all of the love and energy that you're sharing with us. I am talking right now with none other than Philly's own Patty Jackson. It is such a pleasure, such a pleasure to have you here in the room on Save Space with me tonight. Before we went to the break, we were talking about what was a pivotal moment for me. A conversation that you and I were having, and we were talking about, it was during the time that I was caring for my mother, and you just stopped me dead in my tracks and said, listen, you need to take care of yourself, because I was doing such a poor job at the time. And I was saying to you that I knew when that happened that was the only reason that I was there and in that space at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
I had no desire to be away from my mother during that time. And it was something in my spirit that just said, okay, you need a moment. You just need a break. Just go for a moment. Just go for a moment. Just go to say hello, just go to share some love, and then you can come right back. And when I went, I arrived, and as you knew, I was sitting
Mm-hmm.
at the table. I wasn't socializing. I wasn't, my spirit, my light was dim. It was really dim because of the weight that I was trying to carry during the time. And when you said what you said to me about taking care of myself, when I tell you, you may as well have just slapped me in that moment. I promise you, you may as well have just done that, because that was the effect that it had on me. Because this is exactly why I came. I remember being in my car that night, just driving. Well, I'm one of those people that I like to drive, and my reflections typically come when I'm driving, and typically when it's long stretches of road or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, I took it all in. I took it all in, and I received it. And I remember telling you, I received it, I owned it, and you were so right. And my friends, because I told them, I said, I know y'all have been trying to tell me this. I know. And I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it, and I didn't feel it. But I'm so grateful. I am so grateful to you.
I just, you were sitting there and I keyed in on you. It was meant, because immediately after I finished, I left. I wasn't even there for the purpose I was there for, or what I thought was the purpose. Though God had me drop the nugget and said, all right, go home.
Oh, my goodness. I love how he moves. I don't know about anybody else, but I love how he moves.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, I want to shift gears for a moment. So I want to go back to something you said a moment ago. You were talking about your journey and, the different opportunities that have been coming your way, talking about the podcast and all. Tell me how, when you were saying this was something you had not done in the past, how did the podcast come about?
I was in rehab, and one of the young girls said, oh, when you come back, you got to start doing a podcast. And I said, what's that? And I was like, here they go, always with new work, new stuff for us to do. So they were on this initiative, right? So one of the bosses said, well, maybe you can do one on health. And I said, health? I said, because I had a stroke. I said, I don't know nothing about health. And I just said, you know what? I'll think of something I'll do. I love mentoring young people. I love having conversation with young people. Mm-hmm. I said, I want to do something with millennials. And then I brought in Gen X, because Gen X they're often lost between the millennials and the baby boomers. Well, what about Gen X? Gen X, they got something to say too. And I just started with all women. And then I started adding men to the group. And just as the conversation evolved, and that's how it started. And we have been very consistent.
Yes.
And that'll be almost 7 years.
Wait a minute. Are you serious?
Yes. I started it as soon as I returned back to work right after the stroke. Yeah.
Patty, I had no idea it had been that long.
Mm-hmm.
And it is wildly successful. I mean, deservingly so. But oh my goodness.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's just, So here's the thing. I know, I know you with my experiences with you. And then I think about all these things that you're doing and all these things that you have done. And it just going back to your journey from the stroke, since having your stroke, I can't imagine just the challenges overall of trying to get from that day to today.
Learning how to walk was the hardest thing for me. I hated doing steps. It was painful doing steps. And every time I, would be like, I don't feel like doing that today, she would say to me, the therapist, well, you're not going to go home, because you can't go home until you learn how to operate on your own. And I'm talking everything from bathing to being in the kitchen. They said, what do you like to do? I said, I like to cook. I would have to go into a kitchen and have to learn how to move around. Occupational therapy. I used to play video games. I'm not a video game person, but they would make me play video games to make my right hand and arm move. So I did a lot of things. I planted plants. I played cards. I'm not a card player. It's not something that I would do, but I was playing cards as part of the therapy and reclaiming my life. I'd learned everything, how to bathe, how to brush my teeth, how to put on a bra. I remember getting so frustrated one day. I said, I don't need to wear no bra. And she said, girl, you're not going to go home with that attitude. I told them that I love to go down the shore. So they got all these sandbags, right? And she said, now walk on them. And I was like, what? And she said, walk on them. You say you love going down the shore. How you going to walk on it? How you going to walk on sand? And if I fell, Carol, they made me get back up. They would not help me. They said, what if no one is around and you fall? What are you going to do? So it was a learning. And honey, I have fallen more times than Carter got pills. And every time I fell, I had to get up. I cannot believe that I've never broken anything. I've had the classic Dick Van Dyke falls. I have just fallen. I fell almost a month ago.
Are you serious?
I was doing a photo shoot across the street from CBS Studios.
Okay.
And I told the girl who likes to style me, I wasn't ready for shoes. And she insisted that I put these shoes on. Well, child, I went down. I went all the way down. Scuffed up my knees real bad.
Okay. At the photo shoot.
Yes.
At
the photo shoot. I had to just keep smiling, take the pictures, got in the car, and was like, ouch. So I'm still falling to this day, but I just had to relearn everything, Carol, and it was different. Being in a rehab, he took me out of my world. I'm used to concerts and music, and nope. I was in a rehab like everybody else, learning how to regain my life.
That for me would have been, I think for me that would have been the biggest challenge, the mental part.
Mm-hmm.
You know, knowing, knowing some of my physical limitations and having to try to overcome them, that would have been, I think that would have been the biggest struggle for me. And I really have to say, I listened to you talk to us and share with us through your journey. I don't know that I would have had that strength. I don't know. I really don't know that I would have been that strong. I commend you for that. I mean, I commend you. How? Just how?
Well, you know what, Carol? I was 51. I said, I know my life ain't over. I still got to get married. Elder Barge is still out there. I still got to be his wife.
Well, listen. I don't doubt that you are going to marry Elle, okay? I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it because the man does profess his love. He does. He accepts that you are his woman. So, I mean, I love it.
But you know what? I just knew that my life wasn't over. Plus, I had a child at home. My son had just become a teenager. I said, no, I got to get home and be a mom.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Tell me about now. Okay. We're talking about, you writing articles, you being a foodie, and well, I've called upon you myself for a recipe or two. So tell me, and I'm watching you raise the little one. I'm watching you teach your little niece. Oh my gosh, who is so adorable. I live for the videos with you too. Okay.
Yeah, she loves to be in the kitchen.
I love her in the kitchen. I live for those videos. I'm trying to tell you, she's the cutest little thing. She's just so sweet.
Yeah.
You like. I'm talking to you about the mental capacity, and I know we Scorpios have a different. We do have a different way of processing things.
Yeah.
So, I talk about how how it would be a struggle for me, and as I listen to you, I feel like I may have been in that same space. I may have been able to talk to myself and say, "Come on now, because this ain't it.
Yeah,
this ain't it. Like not this. This ain't it." But tell me, because it seems like you are doing everything imaginable under the sun. I can't possibly imagine what's next.
I've got to write a book. I got to write a book.
Oh,
the book has to come. It has to.
Yes, it does.
Yep. It's the book. Yep. It's the book. It's the book. And I'd like to do some teaching. I'm not trying to leave radio, but I could be one of those, adjunct professors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all hear that?
Doing that. Yep.
We're putting that in the universe. Yeah, we're putting that in the universe. You hear that?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. So that's next. But definitely the book. The book.
To be a book. You know what? As I nibble on that morsel right there, family, it's time for us to take another break. We will be right back. You're listening to Safe Space on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. We'll be right back.
In Pennsylvania, it's now illegal to sell tobacco products, including cigarettes, cigars, chewing tobacco, vapes, or electronic cigarettes to anyone under 21. Stores can get fined up to $1,000 for selling tobacco to someone who is underage. Know the law. Check IDs. Post your retailer license. Make sure only employees have access to tobacco products and only sell tobacco products to customers aged 21 and older. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute? When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can, making sure they're safe and comfortable. But it's just as important that you take some time for yourself. At AARP, we can help with information and useful tips on how you can maintain a healthy life balance, care for your own physical and mental well-being, and manage the challenges of caring for a loved one. Because the better care you take of yourself, the better care you can provide for your loved one.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you. You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
So, what's the asking price on these houses?
You'd probably be more comfortable living somewhere else.
How long a lease is the landlord looking for?
Well, I'm sure you can afford to live here, but...
What are the schools like in this district?
Yeah, we have twins in the 5th grade.
This neighborhood isn't really for your kids. You know what I mean?
If you're Black, Latino, Asian American, or Middle Eastern,
and a real estate agent or rental agent says anything like this, you know what it means. You're being discriminated against. Housing discrimination because of race, color, or national origin is against the law. If you believe you've experienced housing discrimination, contact HUD. Go to HUD.gov/fair housing. That's HUD.gov/fair housing. Fair housing. The law is on your side. A message from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development in partnership with the National Fair Housing Alliance.
Save Space on Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Independent Black Media.
Some days I'm barely even holding on. Some days I feel like all my hope is gone. But you get me through, don't know what I'd do without you. Some days, some days, some days. I've been going down dark roads to the back of my mind. And every time I get caught up in my own headlights, 'cause all my demons keep chasing, they're on my tail each night.
Family. Oh my goodness. You are listening to Save Space on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, 96.1 FM and 900 AM. Oh, okay. So we are talking with Miss Patty Jackson, none other than, and before we say goodbye today, I just want to talk about this book that she said that might be in this future of ours.
Mm-hmm.
I so am ready. Okay, this little corner right here. This is my corner. This is kind of this is my double recliner. Okay, me and my fur child, we sit here.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I read all my books. So I'm ready. Okay, I'm already in my spot. I'm already ready. When can we expect this book?
Well, I know that 2022 will be the year of putting it together. And hopefully by 2023, it will be out. If I take the time in 2022 and the diligence and the dedication, by 2023.
Okay. And I'm not rushing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not rushing it at all. But I am letting you know that I am patiently and anxiously waiting for it. You know, I love the stories that you share with me personally.
Yeah.
And I love it. The experiences that we have. I just always, I tell, oh my goodness, I had everybody dying with me in my little air fryer. I called Patty. So for those of you who don't know, I'm going to share with you right now. I know Patty is a foodie, as am I, but she cooks more than I do. I'm too busy running around, too busy. I wanted an air fryer so badly. I wanted this air fryer. I got this air fryer, and then I said, Patty, I'm intimidated. I'm scared of it. I'm scared of it. What are you scared of? You remember that? You said, what are you scared of?
Yeah.
I said, well, you shared this recipe, the fried chicken. You said, oh, that's easy. Let me tell you. She walked me through this recipe step by step, and it was so good. I will never forget. You know, I'm still using the secret ingredient. Wait, is it a secret ingredient?
Well, it was mustard.
Yeah, right. I didn't know if it was, it was a secret.
Which sounds crazy, but the mustard brings out the flavor in your chicken.
Patty, when you told me that, when you said mustard, I said, I don't know about that. But
yeah, you did.
Y'all, listen to me. Listen to me. Patty Jackson told me to coat my chicken with some mustard before I air fry it, and I did. And it was delicious. Okay?
Yep.
That chicken didn't even last more than a day.
Yep. It's moist. It brings out the flavor. So
it was awesome. I must say thank you. Well, I before I let you go tonight, I have to say thank you tremendously for sharing some time, some energy, and space right here on Save Space with me and with us, and just for making yourself available. Patty told me, she said, listen, this is my shutdown time. So but we are happy that you're here. I'm happy to just hear you, as are others that have come into the room and have spent some time with us. So thank you.
You're welcome. You're
Thank
welcome.
you very, very, very much. We love and adore you. And I'm just going to go to Patty Jackson Way just to see the sign.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you that right. Wait, do you do that? Have you done that? Have you just driven down?
I did that Friday morning. And I was like just staring up at it. I did it Friday morning. Mm-hmm.
Because I would do it. I would do it myself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, in any event, you go ahead and you get some rest. You shut it down. You lay it down. And thank you again. I'm sending you all the love. Hugs,
Thank
and
you.
kisses you can handle. Thank you for
you.
stopping by.
You're welcome.
Family. I want to take this time with you myself just to say thank you for sharing your time, your energy, your attention, your spirit with me and with my guests and with Kayla J. We've had a good time this evening, haven't we, Kayla?
Yes, we have. Wonderful time.
We have had a wonderful time tonight. We have a lot more coming up for you the remainder of the week. What I do want to leave with you, though, is that remember, everybody is dealing with something. We are all in this together. It becomes so difficult to remember that when you're going about your day, when you're doing what you do, and you're trying to get to and get from. But everybody's dealing with something. I always ask that you be good to you, but you be good to those around you. It's so important, you guys. It really, really is. And it can go such a long way. We've got so much going on. We're living in this COVID compromised existence, as I like to refer to it. And that, on top of the many layers that we're already dealing with in our everyday lives, it's just a lot to bear. So if you're dealing with it, that someone else is dealing with it too, right? Well, maybe not the same thing, but their problems are just as big to them as yours are to you. Y'all, I want to encourage you to talk to us and join in the conversation. Now, I know that I said it once tonight. I'm going to make sure I say it a few more times as we progress along in the week. But make sure you call us during the show. When I come back tomorrow, I want to talk to you guys too. And I want you to share some nuggets with our guests as they share with us. I want you to write it down just in case you don't have it. The call-in numbers are 215-634-8065 or toll free at 1-866-361-0900. It has been a joy and a pleasure having so much fun with you all tonight. I want to make sure, you know what I'm going to say to you too? Make sure you reach out to me on social media and you tell me some things that you want to talk about too. Because we can pop some things in there. We can do some things this week that we might not have planned. I like spontaneity. I want to make sure you know how to reach me. On IG, you can find me at Carol_Riddick. And on Facebook, you can find me at carolriddick.vocalist. Kayla is no stranger to social media either. You can find her everywhere at Kayla J_music nerd. Kayla, we got some good music to play. I think we need to take us on a nice little journey. Yes. I feel it coming in. I feel it. I like the way that feels. Family, enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a good night. Have a good time. Have a bubble bath.
Trying to be home by 6. You worked hard all day. Now everybody wants their way.